Assalamualaikum. Thanks for joining me this Saturday. I'm Otto Othman and these are the headlines. Decision on Latifa's appointment is final, says Prime Minister. Stern action to be taken against plastic waste imposters who violate regulations. And Indian forces kill 4 rebels in Kashmir. We begin 7Edition with this story. The decision on the appointment of Latifa Bibi Koya as the new Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC Chief Commissioner is final. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said the appointment was made just as he had done for other senior officers.
Kalau dah putus, tamat lah. Takkan nak kali balik lah. Tadi kata saya U-turn. Okey, habis dah.
Tun, hubungan dengan Anwar macam mana?
Ha?
Hubungan dengan Datuk Seri Anwar lepas.
Baik, saya tak ada masalah dengan dia. Dia berhak nak tanya. Saya berhak boleh jawab.
Tun Dr. Mahathir was met at an Aidilfitri open house hosted by Kedah Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Mukhriz Tun Dr. Mahathir in Alor, Kedah today. The Premier was speaking in response to media reports that PKR President Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim was of the opinion that the Prime Minister should clarify Latifa's appointment as the new MACC chief. Datuk Seri Anwar said a clarification was necessary because without it, Tun Dr. Mahathir's admission that Latifa has been appointed without consulting the government would be perceived as reneging the commitment made in the Pakatan Harapan manifesto. In Putrajaya, Latifa's predecessor, Datuk Seri Muhammad Shukri Abdul, said his resignation from the MACC Chief Commissioner post was in line with a special condition for his appointment last year. He revealed that the condition was to limit his tenure to only a year, which was discussed with Tun Dr. Mahathir during a meeting held on May 14, 2018.
Surat tu saya bawa, saya pergi jumpa dengan Tun. Saya bawa bersama-sama pergi dengan saya adalah Tan Sri Abdul Kasim lagi sekali. Okey. Tujuan saya bawa Tan Sri Abdul Kasim untuk meyakinkan Tun. Supaya bersetuju dengan permohonan saya. Okey. Buat Tun. Dan sekali lagi Tun tak beri jawapan yes or no. So tak apalah. Saya tunggulah. Saya tunggulah apa dia punya keputusan. So sehingga habis sampai 1 bulan Mei saya tak terima apa keputusan. Okey. Dan saya terus kerja macam biasa dan masih terima gaji. Sehinggalah 4 bulan Jun saya menghadap Agung.
Speaking to reporters in a press conference today, Datuk Seri Muhammad Shukri also said his focus was mainly to settle the One Malaysia Development Berhad, 1MDB and SRC International Sendirian Berhad investigations. He added he was confident of achieving this as well as resolving functionalism within MACC within the span of 6 months to a year. He further stated that the decision to end his contract earlier was made following his accomplishment in resolving the 2 key issues. Meanwhile, when responding to rumors that he was sacked from the MACC due to abuse of power, Datuk Seri Muhammad Shukri stressed that the accusations were baseless and speculative. He said he had never covered up for anyone while helming the anti-graft agency, as evident by the many high-profile corruption probes launched and completed during his tenure as MACC chief.
Panjang saya berkhidmat 33 tahun, 1 sen pun duit rasa saya tak makan. 1 sen pun duit kajian saya tak abuse. Tak pernah saya ambil 1 sen pun duit kajian. So nak tuduh kata saya rasuah, abuse duit, it's very baseless.
Datuk Seri Muhammad Shukri also said he was confident that the MACC under the new leadership will continue to investigate high-profile cases without fear or favor as well as discrimination. Now, past President Dato Sri Abdul Hadi Awang has also stepped forward to defend the appointment of Latifah Bibi Koya as the MACC Chief Commissioner. He said to Dr. Mahathir in his capacity as Prime Minister has the right to choose anyone deemed worthy of the post. Commenting further, he added Latifah deserves a chance to prove herself in spearheading the anti-graft agency.
Terpulang pada PM untuk pilih siapa yang dia mahu. Terpulang pada dia lah. Kalau pimpinan PM boleh pilih dia jadi Perdana Menteri, mengapa tak boleh setuju dia pilih Ketua Koya? Yang paling besar dia boleh terima. Kepada kami itu terpulang pada itu lah. Yang penting kita tunggu apa dia laksanakan tugas itu.
He also called on the public to respect the decision made by the Prime Minister. Earlier, Dr. Mahathir said the decision was made unilaterally without consulting his cabinet, as he did not want to be bound by their views. This sparked a robust debate among Malaysians, including politicians, with many questioning the legitimacy of the Premier's decision. Moving on, a local singer who was arrested in a raid yesterday for holding a sun bear cub captive in her condominium unit in Desa Pandan, Kuala Lumpur, claimed she found it by a roadside near a forest area. She also alleged that she brought the wild animal home out of pity as the baby bear was injured. However, Department of Wildlife and National Parks Perhilitan Director General Dato Abdul Qadir Abu Hashim said the 27-year-old failed to provide evidence on the matter. Based on the department's initial probe, it was also believed that the 6-month-old cub was obtained from a member of a syndicate. He added the animal would be sent to the National Wildlife Rescue Center in Sungkai and would be released back into the wild once it is over a year old. The singer is being investigated for possession of a protected wild animal under the Wildlife Conservation Act. This after several videos emerged on social media showing the sun bear cub growling while attempting to escape through a window of her condominium unit. The animal, the world's smallest bear species, is listed as vulnerable to extinction by the International Union of Conservation of Nature. Members of the public are also reminded that strict action will be taken against those who keep wild animals, especially protected species, as pets. Police have crippled a migrant smuggling syndicate following the arrest of 11 people, including 3 locals, on May 27th. The suspects were nabbed at the Padang Besar Customs, Immigration and Quarantine CIQ complex and 2 other locations in the Klang Valley. Inspector General of Police Dato Sri Abdul Hamid Bado in a statement said the syndicate, which had been active since mid-2018, was using Malaysia as a transit country before sending Sri Lankans nationals to Europe. He also said the arrests were made when the syndicate members tried to smuggle a Sri Lankan boy to Thailand via the Padang Besar entrance using a Malaysian travel document. The syndicate had planned to send the boy to Europe illegally. Among those arrested were 3 Malaysians, 2 facilitators and 1 escort, and 8 Sri Lankan migrants. The 3 Malaysians were believed to be involved in smuggling the Sri Lankan migrants out of the country via the Malaysia-Thailand border by using Malaysian travel documents. All 3 Malaysians are being investigated under the Security Offences Special Measures Act 2012, while the 8 Sri Lankans were detained under the Immigration Act 1959-63. Elsewhere in Selangor, 9 individuals, including a 15-year-old teenager, were remanded for 5 days beginning today to assist investigations into a brawl case which resulted in a man being severely injured. The alleged incident occurred in an entertainment center in Cheras Selatan yesterday. The remand order was issued by Bandar Baru Bangi Court Assistant Registrar Nurul Farhana Abdul Hamid to facilitate investigations under the Penal Code for rioting and causing grievous hurt. The suspects, aged between 15 and to 26 years old, were arrested several hours after the 3:27 a.m. brawl. Police said just before the incident, 2 men were crossing paths when they accidentally knocked shoulders. Unhappy with what happened, one of them picked up a chair and threw it at the other man before calling out for 20 more of his friends to come over and attack the man until he was badly hurt. The victim was sent to the Kajang hospital before he was referred to the Kuala Lumpur hospital due to internal injuries. The number of fatalities due to road accidents rose to 176 people on the 10th day of Op Selamat 15. This after 70 new deaths were recorded on the third day of Aidilfitri. A total of 16,470 cases of road accidents have been recorded since the operation was launched on May 29th. Selangor topped the list with 4,403 cases, including 28 deaths, followed by Johor with 2,511 cases, including 25 deaths. A total of 2,902 checks were conducted nationwide, with 197,541 summonses issued for various offences during the operation. Op Selamat focuses on 6 major offences, namely driving in the emergency lane, overtaking on a double line, using mobile phones while driving, queue jumping, speeding, and disregarding the traffic lights. As for buildings and house break-ins, there were 441 cases recorded in the country during the operation, which will end on June 12th. The National Solid Waste Management Department has warned that stern action will be taken against importers of plastic waste, including revoking their permits if they are found violating regulations. It said that a total of 62 Malaysian companies currently hold approved permits, AP, issued by the department to import and process plastic waste. According to the department, companies that were found to have brought contaminated plastic waste or goods into the country will be put on a blacklist, while those that committed a subsequent offence will face suspension and possible revocation of their permits. The department, which is under the purview of the Housing and Local Government Ministry, also said all AP holders are being closely monitored. The warning came after a Johor-based company's permit was suspended for making a false declaration in import documentation to evade checks by the authorities. Recently, the government declared war on plastic following a spate of environmental contamination incidents which sparked public outcry. Last month, 60 containers laden with contaminated plastic waste and stranded at Port Klang in Selangor were ordered to be sent back to the respective countries of origin in stages. Apart from this, the media also reported that 265 containers of plastic waste have been stranded at the North Butterworth Container Terminal in Penang since January. After the break, heartwarming Aidilfitri story awaits. Don't go away. Thank you for staying with us. The Aidilfitri celebration has always been an opportunity for big families to gather and have a reunion. In Pago, Johor, 300 family members of Penghulu Oma Kampung Raja had a reunion, which brought together 6 generations of the family. The family reunion was held at Allahyarham Abdul Omar's home. He was the first village leader or Penghulu and the founder of Kampung Raja Pago. Penghulu Oma has 11 children and the family has expanded to be 500. The family members range from toddlers up to the eldest in the family, those aged more than 90 years old.
Dia ada buat hagi keluarga. Itu keluarga untuk kita travelling. Bukan di sini saja, sampai ke Sabah, Sarawak dan juga ke Indonesia. Jadi tiap-tiap tahun memang di atas satu syarikat. Kami dari legasi Haji Omar Pago Muar ingin mengucapkan selamat Hari Raya.
Now let's hop on to our daily segment Clickbait, where we take a look at what's trending and making rounds in the cyber world today. The Aidilfitri vibe continues with people attending open houses, a local tradition that meant to bring people of different races and cultures together. However, scenes that prove Malaysia is a melting pot of harmony is not limited to only such occasions. This is also evident based on what was shared on Twitter by Shazwan Wong, who posted some candid shots of a Chinese family helping a Malay family to take memorable Raya family portrait at the Taiping Lake Gardens. Take a look. The post, which has since garnered nearly 30,000 retweets and 40,000 likes, might be considered normal as no one would really turn down such a favor. But thanks to such eye-catching caption, which netizens can easily relate to, they started to share their real Malaysia Raya celebration stories. Some even posted their own Raya celebration pictures on the comments section, showcasing families of different races coming together to celebrate the festival. The Twitter thread was also flooded with well-wishers and comments of support towards celebrating festive seasons together as one big Malaysian family. It's time for My Game On segment, bringing you the latest esports news in Malaysia. Now, as we enjoy Aidilfitri celebrations with our family and loved ones, some esports athletes will have to wait until next week to return home and celebrate with their families. Team Junior Talent, one of 5 Malaysian teams participating in the PUBG Mobile Club Open PMCO 2019 Championship, celebrated their Raya festivities in Shanghai, China this year.
PMCO 2019 entered its final week during the Aidilfitri celebrations after 5 weeks of competition among some of the best teams in Southeast Asia. 5 Malaysian teams are currently competing in the online multiplayer battle royale PUBG Mobile League for a prize pool of over 100,000 ringgit. Teams Junior Talent, Udo Gank, AROV Esports, VIP Squad and Secret Genexus began their campaign on May 8th and will compete until June 11th before the playoffs in mid-June. Among the Malaysians who will be celebrating the festivity abroad include team members from Junior Talent who do not expect much festivities this year.
Kita orang tak payah sangat buat persiapan, tapi kita orang bawa lah baju Melayu just in case. Lepas tu Fah bawa rendang semua. Ya, macam tu lah kot persiapan kita.
Raya semua dah ada dah.
Sebab ni negara luar kan, memang kalau hari raya Aidilfitri ni memang lain lah. Setiap negara lain. Cuma Malaysia je lah saya rasa yang paling meriah. Tak expect banyak. Just as long as dapat raya tu, alhamdulillah.
Even though the team may not be able to celebrate with loved ones, the Malaysian teams competing in Shanghai plan to host a Raya celebration amongst themselves. All teams will look forward to ending the tournament on a high note with more winner-winner chicken dinners as they play off for the finals.
Saya nak ucapkan selamat raya maaf saya dah mati. Sorry tahun ni tak dapat nak raya sekali, nak salam raya semua. So dari ujung rambut hingga ujung kaki, minta maaf segala dosa yang kita buat. Nanti balik kita raya kan sama-sama.
Untuk family saya, mama, bapa dan adik-beradik saya semua lah. Saya nak minta maaf sebab tak dapat raya sama dan saya semua nak cakap selamat raya mak Aizah batin dan saya minta maaf lah apa kalau saya ada buat salah.
Mama, papa, selamat raya mak Aizah batin. Tahun ni baru terasa, selama ni macam tak kisah je, mana-mana raya je, baru tahun ni dah jauh gila baru terasa. So tunggu Ira balik lah, dia raya nanti.
Mak Ayah, Izzat minta maaf sebab Izzat pun study lagi. So Izzat bagi tahu pasal plan pergi China pun lambat, last minute. So Izzat nak minta maaf pada awal, pada dulu Izzat banyak kena sabar dengan Mak Ayah. Izzat cuba nak capaikan impian Izzat tapi Mak Ayah kurang sikit nak memahami. So Izzat minta maaf sangat-sangat dan Izzat nak sangat balik lah jumpa Mak Ayah. Kami dari Junior Talent ingin mengucapkan Selamat Hari Raya Maaf Zahir dan Batin. Bye.
New blockbuster titles will be on center stage as usual at the annual Electronic Entertainment Expo E3 opening in Los Angeles this Tuesday. The E3 will be held from July 11th to 13th, where top players in the gaming industry are planning to showcase their upcoming projects even before E3 officially kicks off. Here's what you can expect from each one.
Electronic Arts EA Play will be kicking things off with an all-day event on Saturday, where fans can tune in for more info on their highly anticipated games this year, including Apex Legends Season 2, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Battlefield 5, as well as EA Sports FIFA. On Sunday, Microsoft's Xbox will take the stage to announce 14 Xbox Game Studios titles, which includes Gears of War 5 and Halo Infinite. Fans can perhaps also expect news about their streaming service project xCloud and maybe details on its next-gen hardware. In the evening, Bethesda will give an in-depth presentation on their latest game, Doom Eternal, as well as featuring their latest trailer for Wolfenstein Youngblood. Ubisoft on Monday is expected to reveal more on Watch Dogs Legion and Beyond Good and Evil 2, while Square Enix will give more details on its upcoming Avengers game, as well as the Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's unclear what Nintendo's lineup will be on Tuesday, but the game developer will likely talk about a new Animal Crossing and other upcoming Switch titles. Fans won't have to worry for missing out, as all the keynotes will be streamed online.
When we return, Facebook to cut off Huawei to comply with US sanctions. We'll be right back. We're back with 4 news. Indian security forces have killed 4 fighters during an overnight gun battle in Indian-administered Kashmir, with 2 of the dead former police officers who had defected. The firefight on Friday took place in Pulwama district, where India intensified security operations after a suicide attack killed 42 paramilitary troops on February. As the news of the counter-insurgency operations spread, protests and clashes broke out, with hundreds of people trying to get closer to the site of the fighting to save the trapped rebels. Many residents of the region view the local police as tools of Indian government bent on suppressing widespread demands for the Muslim-majority region's independence or merger with neighboring Pakistan. Facebook said on Friday it would cut off Huawei from its popular social networking apps to comply with US sanctions. This after President Donald Trump's order barring Huawei from US technology exports over concerns that it works with Chinese intelligence. The move is the latest to isolate Huawei, which had become the world's second largest smartphone vendor, despite security concerns voiced in Washington. According to the California company, however, people with existing Huawei smartphones with Facebook apps will continue to be able to use as well as download app updates provided by Facebook. Facebook, which is banned in China but has more than 2 billion users worldwide, added its decision would affect its core social network, as well as applications such as Instagram, Messenger, and WhatsApp, which each have at least 2 billion users. Last month, Google has cut ties to Huawei, making it harder to obtain major apps from the US giant, namely the Play Store, the marketplace for most Android apps, and the other elements of the mobile operating system. The US sanctions were imposed May 15th, but the administration allowed a 90-day compliance period that gives users of Huawei devices time to install updates and avoid a major disruption of the mobile economy. Now on to the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup. Host France laid down a marker in the opening game as towering defender Wendy Renard scored twice in a rampant win over South Korea to kick off the tournament in style in Paris on Friday. A sellout crowd of more than 45,000 filled the Parc des Princes to watch the start of what is billed as the biggest women's World Cup yet, but there was no sign of pressure getting to the French on the big occasion. The Blue is among the favorites to win the trophy on home soil, and the team showed no mercy to the Koreans. The display was watched by France's President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte, who were in the crowd alongside Gianni Infantino. The FIFA chief had this week promised the month-long tournament would see the explosion of the women's team, as he was waved in for a second term at the head of the world football's governing body. This was certainly a fine start, despite the unseasonably cold Parisian evening, with the French showing their credentials, having been set to the target by their own federation of going all the way to the final in Lyon on July 7th. Ranked 4th in the world, the French have underperformed at recent major tournaments, losing in the quarterfinals of the last World Cup, Euro 2017, and the last Olympics. K-pop sensation Bangtan Boys, or popularly known as BTS, scored another record on Friday, becoming the first Korean act to top Britain's album chart. The floppy-haired 7-piece's latest album, Map of the Soul, Persona, went straight to #1, days after their single Boy With Love broke the YouTube record for the most views in 24 hours with 74.6 million hits. Wrapping up 7Edition this evening is their concert at the Stade de France in Paris. With that, I'm Otto Othman. Thanks for tuning in and have a blessed weekend.